Al Kelly there. And we know that that's also another soundtrack from that film, Ali. Was a good one there. It starred Will Smith as Muhammad Ali.
The man is greatly hated for all the revelations coming out, for all the confessions we've heard from women and girls, really.
Yeah.
But I say it's the words in that piece of music that I want to reflect on, not the person singing it necessarily.
Yeah.
Yeah. I am the world's greatest.
Yes, you are.
Yeah. But he couldn't reflect on his own lyrics, you know.
I think so. Sometimes,
He's got some very
you know,
great lyrics.
the problems that people go through, they tend to respond by sharing them either on social media or through their works or through their songs. You know, many artists tend to do that. Their turmoils and their fears and the evils that tend to engulf them.
But there's a lot of, like, he's got powerful words. The storm is over, you know, like, and I'm happy people, get a child. Yeah, anyway. Listen, let's come back home, eh? Let's do the newspapers.
Yeah,
Good morning to
definitely.
all of you, those just joining us. Welcome to the Friday edition of the AM show. You missed the AM news, the opening of our show, but you definitely made it in good time to catch the headlines. So let's do the newspapers now. I have the Daily Graphic, the Finder, the Times, and the Daily Statesman. Roland, what do you have?
I have the Daily Guide, the Go Street Business, and a couple of the news. The Dispatch is also here, yeah.
Okay. All right, let's...
Oh, and there's also one, The Weekend.
Let me...
Weekend today.
Traditional.
Some Kevin Ghanaian celebrities on the front page.
You remember that
the
conversation?
Weekend, we can start with that
We're
one.
talking about that conversation
Yeah,
today.
body
The
enhancement.
fact that
Weekend
who
today.
said, Tonto Dike said, well, she did the Botox thing because, and that has boosted her confidence. So we put
sure about that.
Well, we don't know what the head of the
Yeah.
reconstruction burns unit of the Kolbu Teaching Hospital will tell us. Who knows? Maybe
I don't mind if
just
you
at
want
the
to
end
have
of,
it.
at the
You know
end.
my view on it.
Yeah, I know. Let's do the newspapers. I've got the Daily Graphic newspaper.
Amavi is going for one. You said next
Front page of the graphic. Here we go. Rates of police contracts appointments worrying Mr. Paul Avuyi, a retired superintendent of police, making some revelations there. Page 16 in the Daily Graphic newspaper. Still on the front page, though. Election of MMDC East. EC sets referendum for December 17. Third-year senior high school student return August 19. What's today's date?
So 16.
Oh, today's 16. Okay. Protect airport lands. President charges authorities. Center spread. Government will tap potential of Fombese rice valleys. India will strengthen bond of friendship with Ghana. 1.3 billion Ghana cedi second-tier pension transferred into custodian accounts, according to the Labour Minister. Back page of the paper, Sogakofa Bridge in need of urgent repairs or repair. It says the lower Volta Bridge at Sogakofa in the Volta region is gradually developing into a death trap following the fast deterioration of expansion and contraction joints on the bridge. If we show you the back page of the paper, you would see it. One of the many worn out joints on the bridge. Yeah. Yes.
It's expanding.
Okay, let's do the Finder. Front page of the Finder says 611,397 former sector jobs created. And as expected, it's creating a lot of doubts in the minds of
I was just having a conversation with Elvis, and apparently he coincidentally also happens to be the editor of the Finder. And he said, the minister said he've added extra 300,000 to the list of those who are employed by MMDAs. And I said, I know that we've always had 600,000 to 700,000 on the list, because even the Bretton Woods institutions that we liaise with and the other countries who contribute to a budget would not allow us to go that far. So 300,000.
Yeah.
So now we have like 1 million.
People are saying, "Nah, jobs no way." Hey. Okay.
Yeah, so
267,990 39 created by former private sector employers, according to the Labour Minister. 839,500 unemployed, 1.1 million working as volunteers. So that's the details.
I have a lot of my friends who don't have jobs.
Maybe they're not part of this figure.
Yeah, I know. They definitely won't be part of this figure because
there will always be another list.
Because many of them have been retrenched over the last 2 years.
So I guess now the question to the ministry is proof of the creation of these jobs. Nana Addo sought for $70 million phase 2 Tamale Airport project. Brian Champon Foundation gives 70 Kwewu teachers 208,250,000 scholarship in Ghana cedis. Government clears 198.2 million Ghana cedis nurses allowance. Government pays 3.1 billion Ghana cedis to pension schemes. Front page of the Finder. Let's go to the front page of the Ghanaian Times. Tier 2 pension monies. Government pays 3.1 billion Ghana cedis to pension schemes as the banner headline when you grab the Ghanaian Times newspaper today. Also investigates MIDA IFC over PDS saga. That's a call by CSOs. GJ marks 70th anniversary in Accra. Support security agencies to curb fertilizer smuggling. President to chiefs of the Upper East region. Man arrested for illegally possessing pump action gun. The man was arrested here in Accra, Malam in Accra. Center spread of the paper now. Details of some of the front page headlines in the center spread of the paper. So let's do the back page. Takwa police failed to use new facility 3 years after handover. Some people want, they don't get. Some people get, they don't use. The Takwa Divisional Police Command in the Western region has failed to occupy the new police station in a 6-bedroom accommodation, even though the facility was handed over to them 3 years ago. The Takwa Nsawai Municipal Assembly on June 2, 2016, handed over the 453,000 Ghana cedis facility put up by the Assembly at Simpa. But it is not known why the Police Divisional Command had failed to occupy the state property after its handing over. You can continue to read on the rest of the story right there on the back page of the paper. As expected, there's a picture of a man who can best answer this, and that's the acting IGP, James Opong Bueno. Sometimes it's bigger than those in the assembly in terms of the district. It's bigger than the district commander. He may not even know. I doubt if he can carry his men and say we are relocating and going to the facility. I guess it has to come from a higher authority. I think so.
But the needs,
the bureaucracies and everything, yeah. Okay. It's an administrative decision.
If any policeman calls me again and says that your office in your guy is back
what Simba? Is it Simba? Yeah, or Simpa, which is not in use. But I guess there'll be a reason for that. Even though we spend so much money, 453,000 Ghana cedis. Road crashes in Upper West region increase. The Upper West region recorded 72 road crashes in the first half of this year. The figure represented a slight increase over last year's figure of 63 for the same period. The number of serious cases also increased from 17 in the first half of 2018 to 37 for the same period this year, whilst a number of persons killed reduced from 26 to 28. And according to the police, a lot of motorcycles were estimated to have been involved in the crashes this year. More of the figures in the story, which is on the back page of the Ghanaian Times. We hope that as we share the statistics with you and we talk about road crashes, you would know that the number represent human beings, and that would make you cautious when you're using the road. Let's do the Daily Statesman newspaper now. Unemployment rate plummets. Labour Minister cites free SHS as a contributory factor. NDC's hypocrisy in power sector exposed. Anewobana Busa Honors Ekofuado. And I hope that I absolutely pronounced that traditional name right. If I didn't, kindly forgive me. That's it for what's on the front page of the Daily Statesman newspaper. Roland?
Yeah, and I'll just do two, and that's so that we can have some time and talk about these unemployment rates. I think it's a good news that we have all these people employed. I think the question should be how we got to the figure. How we got to look at the measure of the figure. So we'll do the Daily Dispatch. The Dispatch says, U.S. government on PDS deal. We are waiting for MIDA's forensic audit. It has an attached picture of Stephanie Sullivan, the U.S. ambassador to Ghana. I will accept to be JDM's running mate if offered. Alex Mould, a former chief executive for the GNPC. Resident of Tamale told your support for CRM is vital. Okay. Residents of Tamale told your support for CRM is vital. That's how you should read it appropriately. And then we look at the last one I have, which will be the... Have we done the guide? I can't find the guide here. Guide. Where did I put the guide? Okay. Can't find the guide. Okay, so the guide is here. So we'll do the last one, the guide. NDC chokes on free SHS. Has an attached picture of a pondering Dom. Says, Charlie, am I saying what is true? Yeah. Newspapers have a way of dramatically doing that. So it's the standard, the way that we all go about it to make sure we represent the pictures appropriately with the content of the stories and the headlines. DNA samples taken from Tadi girls or Tadi families. Finally, this has been done after 3 weeks. We're happy. We know that we'll get some conclusion as quickly as possible. And then we have Nana Cat sold for $70 million Tamale Airport Terminal. But the U.S. Embassy bounces NDC on PDS, and government pays $3.1 billion and Ghana cedis into the pension accounts, and that's a good thing. That's a good thing. That's a good thing as well. Okay, so let's go to the center spread. The center spread has a story. Everything will make sense someday. Bellamundi. Center spread. News one pullout of the Daily Guide.
This has to do with her move from EIB in terms of GH1 to Media General.
Media General.
Yeah, shifting cultivation.
Yeah. No show at AMA Awards. That's the African Movie Academy Awards intended soiree in Accra over the weekend to celebrate with Ghanaian actors and others turned out to be a fiasco. I'm worried that the film industry seems to be stale currently. I'm worried. MTN Heroes of Change finale tonight. Okay. That'll be it.
You're done?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to myjoyonline.com. We've got just a few minutes to go. We'll do myjoyonline.com and then we'll make way for sports. Yeah.
Okay. So as we get ready for all that, I just decided to also take a look at how employment rates are created or measured. And we have what's done appropriately. For example, in the US, what they do is there's a population survey that is done known as the household survey, and they conduct sample of about 60,000 households. Did we do that? Did we go to certain households and did a survey, and then we drew those conclusions based on those estimations? And then they also do what they call the payroll survey, and it's conducted based on a sample of 160,000 businesses and government agencies that represent 400,000 individual employees. So the companies that do the employment, you know, and then the employees as well. And this one is coming from the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's what they do. We want to measure ourselves to some of the best benchmarks, right? All right, so let's do myjoyonline.com. Mama V, it's here.
More suspected killers of police woman in Tamale smoked out. Guyana oil discovery presents on employment opportunities rather for Ghanaians, according to Talo. Tibet education is key to Ghana's transformation. That's according to former President John Dramani Mahama. Denied access to baby, ordeal of 63-year-old in mental home retold. Cheating and manipulation, confessions of a gaslighter. Okay. 2019 Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology Media Awards launched. There's also another story on our page this morning, myjoyonline.com. Busa Chiefs install Ekufuado, chief for the poor and vulnerable. Photo of the week, floating plastic waste that never got to its destination. It'll be interesting to take a look at that. More stories on our page. Savannah Region 1 dead, 4 injured after communal violence. We're told the situation this morning is calm. More stories on our page. If you have time, please do log on to myjoyonline.com. That will be it for the review. We've got a Relationship Friday. Dear AM, that's the segment where you get to write to us and share any relationship challenge with us. We'll see how best we can address that. We've got that coming up after sports. But first, here's sports. Is a sporty Friday as well. Stay with us here on the AM Show.